So this morning I've been given a double tough task, because not only I have to walk you through the marvelous world of quality experience delivered, but I have also the first session in the morning. So either I have to wake you up or to keep you awake. So thank you, Jeff. Quality experience delivered is quality experience is not a new topic. Okay, so we have been talking about this for ages in different angles, and conscious of that, I'm going to try to give you a different perspective and some additional food for thought with this presentation. Okay. In the broadband industry, we have been focusing in the past years, but also looking forward mainly on one aspect, which is increasing the one speed, so increasing the speed of our connectivity. And this is taken into consideration, is underlying a concept which somehow is at the basis of our project and our thinking, is that if we can deliver enough speed, our customer will be happy. And this probably has been true for a while, because all the increases that we have been achieving on the connectivity level has allowed more and more services that were eager of bandwidth. But the point I'm making here is the challenge to this concept is bandwidth really enough for delivering quality? As a matter of fact, we are in the gigabit era. Also as Vodafone, we are now delivering in a number of different countries gigabit connectivity on different access technologies. So this is not anymore a kind of an expectation, but it's a reality. And we are already looking at going forward to the next logical step beyond 1 gig, okay? But if we look at the process that we have been used to kind of build these over the time, what we can see is that we have started on looking at how much we need for supporting our services to our customers. So bandwidth was actually the foundation, the cornerstone for this journey. Then we moved to looking into not only how much, not only functionality, not only the quantity, if you want, but also improving the way we serve our customer with additional functionalities. This means maybe services, applications, but also specific functionality added on top of our network and connectivity, such as, for example, synchronization support for fixed mobile convergence. But now, really, the time has come to look at a different perspective, so to put our effort on quality delivery. Again, this is not really a new concept, but it's time to look at this in a different perspective. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we have realized looking at this together with our partners is that not all bandwidth is created equal. So there are many different factors within the broadband domain, if you want, that contribute in different ways to the end quality of experience. So a 15 meg connection is not the same on a DOCSIS link as on the GPON link, if you want. The same, if you look at serialization, these play a big role in delivering a real seamless and good experience in that, as well as the queuing, the buffering. So there are multiple components that has to be factored into the end-to-end quality of experience evaluation. And bandwidth is not just enough for encompassing all of these contributions. And we have been measuring quality in many different ways. So here's just for reference, a plethora of different solutions and applications for measuring quality, all valuable, all good, and all concentrated to a different level of the network or application layer. So some of them looking at how to improve or measure the connectivity performance. Others are more looking at how to tackle application outcomes, looking at different KPIs, and somehow trying to deliver or to measure and optimize network performance in application for our customers. But we have to ask ourselves what really matters. So what is the key point here? We have been applying a bit of a simplistic model in a way. So if we take this as an equation, we have put in investments as an input, okay? to improve bandwidth. Let's say we're kind of leveraging speed tests, so hoping that this is enough to deliver enough speed to our customers, and as a result, hoping that our customers are going to be happy. And all these stages can be measured in a way. There are KPIs that are taking into account different layers. But what we are realizing, going beyond 1 gig, going into 1 gig and beyond 1 gig, is that bandwidth is actually decoupling from the application outcome, from the service satisfaction. So as if we have a Ferrari that is capable of going at 180 miles per hour, and I'm given one that is capable to go to 250 miles per hour. Okay, the difference is not as the one that I would expect or could improve on my experience to a highest level. So we really need a different way to look at this. And actually, if we look at the end-to-end digital supply chain, so to the fixed domain, we know that it's a kind of a end-to-end chain with different domains, all of them connected and impacting each other. Of course, we realize that the gigabit access connectivity, the NGA, ultra-fast broadband, etc., only help on one specific area, so in the access. But in a way, the service that's delivered to our customers are actually impacted, can have impact along the chain in all the different domains with different angles, with different problems, with different issues. So here where we could introduce a different concept, which is the one we are talking about today, is the quality attenuation. So if we take the ideal quality to be delivered to our customer, this quality gets actually attenuated all over the chain down to the end user by many different issues and impacts. Okay, so this is why leveraging the work that Neil and Predictable Network Solution has made over these past years, we could leverage a new concept here, a new tool, if you want, that could allow us to tackle, to get inside, to break up that monodimensional approach that we had that was based on bandwidth or on end-to-end round-trip time as a latency. So what Neil and the guys have done is to identify a way, to develop a way that has both a very structured and broad mathematical basis. So Neil is here and he can take any specific questions on the topic if you want. But not only, as we will see, there are demos on the booth here that could give all the details on this. The great thing here is that the end-to-end latency has been structured in 3 main components and actually 6 contributions. So 6 parameters, 6 elements that we can take into account to better describe the quality attenuation over a given connection. So, and these components, you can see here GSV, they take into account 3 different areas that could have impact on the end-to-end delay and latency. So geographical, we are not yet in the teleportation era, so the packet has to travel yet from A to B. So there's a distance, there's an end-to-end impact on delay there. Serialization, which is interface related delays and impacts there. So the packet size, all matter. So also the not brand new things, but those things were there in a way. They found a way, they invented a way to kind of recombine, use them to get the right insight on what is happening. And the last one, V, is having to do with queuing and buffering, so the congestion of the network and of the end-to-end path that is under control. And this kind of tool is giving us the right tools, if you want, to kind of represent, map, and characterize the different delays and impacts over the given connectivity to tackle and identify where the problems are occurring. And here we are here actually to support the work that has been started, and we have been inspired by the work that started in Broadband Forum, This has given already birth to a study document which is quite advanced and quite detailed in going through use cases, examples, the theory itself underlying that. And on the basis of that, partners like Domos, Outsys, with the help of PNSOL, has developed reference implementation of QED on how to use quality attenuation in a real and concrete environment. In Vodafone as well, we have trialed this on a number of different connectivity, on fixed, mobile, and Wi-Fi as well, so different access technologies on GPON, copper, cable, and that was quite compelling because we were actually able to kind of characterize each different connection with respect to the different components I've mentioned before, giving the evidence on how these play a different role in different technologies. Okay, and these open up a real new world of possible observable phenomenon. So it's like having the possibility to identify and pinpoint underlying issues that from a mere bandwidth or speed test or end-to-end latency measurement were not available. For example, we have been able on one of the trials to identify a problem issue on a new node that we were trialing, we were testing, that was affected by a misconfigured scheduler. So it's in like a very specific and inner issue, and the vendor itself was not aware that that was actually impacting the end-to-end performance of a given connectivity. So that was really a killer application, if you want, that allowed us to pinpoint an issue even before going to the field, even before and without breaking it up, if you want. Okay. So, returning to the quality attenuation or delta Q, because the delta Q refers to the fact that if we look at an ideal quality and an attenuated quality, there's a delta between what we would like to achieve as a perfect ideal performance with respect to what we get due to all the impairment that are accumulated over the chain. If we were able to kind of apply this to the end-to-end connectivity domain, but even breaking it up on different layers and domain, this would give us a really powerful tool to kind of have deep insight on each of the specific domains, but also an end-to-end overview. One of the quality of delta Q, if you want, is the fact that is also composable. So you can sum up the different components to reach an end-to-end view, which is not possible actually with the normal ping or with the bandwidth or latency measurement. They are not kind of giving you any specific hint on a real quality perceived. So therefore, the ideal application across the digital supply chain is being able to deliver probes which are very light and frictionless, if you want, that could tackle the different components of delta Q across the domain for having an end-to-end holistic view on this. So what we have quickly walked you through is a kind of a shift from a more kind of bandwidth-based model, where we have a kind of a monolithic, monodimensional approach, if you want, to a more quality-driven model. When I was first introduced to this topic, which is, so the details, the underlying details are quite complex and articulated. So it took a while also for me to kind of enter in this view. What struck me as an image is that I realized I was looking something as it has happened in medical diagnostics when we moved from X-ray plain diagnostics to a computer digital image-based diagnostics. So we are actually now capable of having a multidimensional, multi-component tool that give us the possibility, without breaking the patient, without cutting the patient, to look inside to what is happening, identify where the impairments are occurring, but also in a way to simulate somehow before delivering the service itself, what might be the impact on the service due to a new underlying technology. So how the shift in latency on any specific component may affect or impact new service delivery or new technology introduction. So in a way, we can say that internet is not tactile. So the ideal world would be that the only bottleneck, the only constraint to the service and delivery application would be the human interface. So at the moment, this is not happening. So what is happening is that services and applications are actually impacted by the underlying infrastructure or network, so which is introducing problem and issues. So the application themselves, which should work in a way that the network infrastructure is transparent, are still affected. So the work that the potential we see in this going forward is actually to shift from the current situation to a situation where the network is actually invisible or may not detect it from a service and application perspective. So in conclusion, we have kind of defined a new postulate, if you want, so that bandwidth is necessary but not sufficient. Maybe it's not a new concept. The point is that what we have found is a way to support and to actually apply in a real world, in a real environment, this kind of assumption, giving us the possibility to focus on what are the real challenges for a service provider for delivering unmatchable customer experience, to really use this as a differentiator as well into a very competitive market. And we see the possibility to work together as an industry, because this stuff has to be supported at industry level, and the Broadband Forum work in this perspective is paramount, is key, because this shift from bandwidth to quality, which has started, we have started seeing this at the verge of the up to or beyond 1 gig, is going to be more and more relevant looking forward at 10 gig or 5G as well. So we will need to be prepared to enter this new era and world. That's it.
All right. Thank you for kicking us off, Andrea. Okay. This is fantastic. I do.